Marvel's What If? Episode 7, What If Ultron Won? And yes, this review, these last two reviews anyway, for Marvel's What If, both these reviews are late. I'm well aware of that, and it wasn't because of Comic-Con or anything. I'm going to be honest with y'all, after that Trash Thor episode, I really wasn't like in a rush to finish the What If saga, though I was mildly intrigued when I saw Ultron, show up at the end of the last episode. And I feel like they did that on purpose because they knew a lot of people probably wouldn't have liked the Thor episode. So in this particular episode, it does take place because the question this week is, what if Ultron won? And we're taken now to an Earth, to a planet that Ultron actually did win, where he succeeded in putting himself into Vision. And because he put himself into Vision and has the Mind Stone on his head, he was able to collect, he basically destroyed the world. He killed everybody. He killed all the Avengers. When Thanos showed up to get the other stones, he basically killed Thanos on sight and stole the rest of the Infinity Stones. And then Ultron was the all-powerful being, and he now has access to the Infinity Stones. The only two Avengers that are remaining is Hawkeye and Black Widow. So this episode was really focused more on them, which was nice to see. Nice change of pace. Now, Hawkeye and Widow, their mission is to try to find a way to stop Ultron. So they're trying to, so they're searching through like the snow and everything. They're trying to find like a secret base. They're fighting off robots. And throughout the entire episode, like Clint was basically complaining. He was basically like bitching and crying about how tired he was and he's exhausted and he doesn't want to fight anymore and he's ready to give up. And then, Black Widow has to give him the speech and then she's just like, oh, shut up. We got to do this. We got to save everybody. And, he just goes along with it and he starts fighting. We're at a point now where the Watcher's abilities are now being questioned because his whole thing is I observe everything. And it's weird because when he was just like, he's like, I know it all. I know how everything starts. I know how everything ends. I know the beginning. I know the ending. I know everything in between. I'm like, one, didn't Kang say that on the Loki series where he knows everything? And two, if you know everything, how did Ultron run up on you in the Crystal Palace? That didn't make sense to me, because Ultron now has the Infinity Stones. Because the Watcher, he likes peeking in on everybody, and then he likes talking and narrating in the background. While he was talking and narrating, Ultron actually turned around and he was like, "Yo, I see you." And then the Watcher was like, "Oh no," And then like Ultron was like, "Yo, I hear you." He was like, "I can see you. I just gotta find you." And he has all the stones now, so he was able to fight his way through the different pocket dimensions, and he found the pocket dimension that the Watcher lives in. Him and the Watcher briefly got into a little fight, and then the Watcher got his ass beat, and then he dipped off and went into another pocket dimension. While he's in this pocket dimension now he's like, damn, your man ran up on me. I didn't think that was going to happen. And I'm like, but you just said you know everything. Anyway, while he's in this pocket dimension, he's like, for the first time, I may have to actually get involved. And he said that there's one way to take down Ultron, and only Black Widow and Hawkeye, can discover the key. So he goes to where they are, the Earth where they are. They're in the warehouse. They're looking up old files, trying to figure out, trying to find out some way where they can stop Ultron. The Watcher's watching them do this. And then he's like, oh, there's the file that they need in order to save all of humanity all across, the multiverse. But he's like, oh, but I can't get involved. And I'm just like, really, dude? Like, all you had to do. See, the thing was, he was like, I just can't appear and tell them. He's like, the folder's right there. And see, and this is when I started getting annoyed because I'm like, up until this point, the Watcher was a very serious, like stoic, stern character. Now he's all like, oh, it's right there. The folder's right there. What are you doing? And I'm just like, now he's a joke. Like, everybody got to be a joke. And then because he's basically a ghost in this moment, he could have easily just taken the folder out of the box and dropped it in front of Widow's feet. But he was just like, no, I still can't get involved. And he was just like using the power of will, hoping that, one of them would see the file. Widow ends up seeing the file, and it ended up being a file for Zola, basically Zola. So it was a file for Zola saying that if they can get Zola into a hard drive or something, they can upload him into Ultron, and Zola can take over Ultron from the inside and he can destroy him. They ended up booting up Zola onto a computer. They told Zola the plan. Zola was like, fine, I will do it for you. I will destroy this Ultron. And then they downloaded Zola into the thumb drive, whatever the hell they had. And then the two of them went, to go find Ultron so they can go kill him. The Ultron robots show up at this point and start chasing them out of the compound. The two of them try to like get out of the compound by going up to the roof. I don't know why they did that. And on their way up to the roof, they almost made it. Black Widow had the Zola, Artem Zola at that point, he had uploaded himself into an Ultron robot. So Ultron, Zola, and Black Widow, they managed to get to the top of the tower to get out. Hawkeye didn't get out yet. And he actually he was trying to climb, and then the cement broke and then he fell. And then he looked at Black Widow and he was like, yo, bitch, I told you I ain't want to fight no more anyway. He jumped down into the hole, let off a bunch of explosives, and he killed all the Ultron robots along with himself. And when he was falling down into the sea of Ultron robots, they showed Black Widow like, no, Clint. And it was basically the reverse image of when she sacrificed herself for him in Avengers Endgame, blah, blah, blah. It was so touching. So, so then Hawkeye died, he killed himself. And then it's now just Black Widow with Zola, but they're trying to find Ultron now so they can finally end this. But Zola told her, he was like, yo, Ultron's not here. He's not even on this universe. He's not in this universe, nor is he on this planet, because he was too busy fighting the Watcher in some different type of pocket dimension. So the two of them fought all over the place. They're still fighting. Watcher got his ass beat again. And then after he got his ass beat, he disappeared for the last time into another pocket dimension. And he went back to, I guess, where his home is, because there's a secret pocket dimension where the Watcher sits and he chills and rests his head at. We ended up seeing Doctor Strange from the Doctor Strange episode, the one who destroyed his entire timeline, because he was the only survivor from his timeline. So apparently he's been staying with the Watcher at the Watcher's house in some weird pocket dimension. And as soon as he said that, he was just like, oh, Doctor Strange was just like, oh, are you going to admit now that you need help? And he was like, fine. He was like, I need your help. And as soon as he said that, once Doctor Strange came back, once I saw the Doctor Strange from the Doctor Strange episode, I immediately said to myself, he's going to pull every character from the previous 6 episodes and bring them into the next one. They're going to fight Ultron as a team. And that's exactly what happened in the season finale. But that's how this particular episode ended, with the Watcher and Doctor Strange getting ready to put the team together to take down Ultron. So that was it. And thank you for tuning in. This episode was definitely way better than the Thor episode. And I do have my my thoughts on the season finale, and I will share them in the next episode. But like I said, aside from the stupidity of him being able to see everything throughout the course of time and Ultron getting the drop on him, aside from that, this episode was actually pretty decent, and I have no problems with it. So share your thoughts below. What did you think of it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was stupid? Did you like where they went with it? Did you like the focus on Natasha Romanoff's character, as well as the other character, as well as Hawkeye, and how they did the whole thing with them and how everything unfolded? Check me out on Twitter. Check me out on Instagram. Hit me up on YouTube as always. Hit the notification bell. Subscribe and like this video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because we talking about everything, whether Marvel, DC, or everything in between. So thanks for tuning in, guys. So until next week. Well, not till next week, but until next time when we review the season finale of Marvel's What If. Take care. Never Hawkeye. I'm out this bitch.